Hey everyone, welcome back to A Story About My Uncle.
As I entered the Chasms, it struck me how much darker it was in there. The shadows were black as ink, and although I tried not to be afraid, I couldn't help but shiver. Was it the darkness that frightened the villagers as well, or was it something else?
Ooh, spooky.
I'm scared, Bart. I actually really like the title intro.
Yeah, I stole it from the game itself.
I noticed that.
This level's kind of cool. It's very dark, but sort of, paradoxically, the darkness actually makes the colors pop a lot more. So even though it's a darker level, it seems more colorful than the last couple.
Is the game like linear? I assume it is because it's a story, but
Yeah.
like, are you always going to do the levels in order?
Yes. Yeah, it is a progression. A journey, an adventure.
I don't know if it's just my screen, but I'd probably fall off the edge a few times here.
Tell me something else you did with Fred.
Well, early one summer morning, Fred took me down to the lake to watch the mayflies. Everything was still and quiet. The larvae floated on the lake's surface and slowly transformed into beautiful mayflies. Fred told me that they had been living on the bottom of that lake for a whole year, and that they would only live as adults for one single day.
That's sad. What if the only day you were out of the water was a rainy day?
That would be sad indeed.
So this little mural, it definitely seems to be the life cycle of the frog people.
Tag yourself. I'm the second last one.
Up top there, I think that's supposed to be like a lunar cycle. Is their entire lifespan. But we don't know how long their lunar cycle is. We don't think this is Earth, so it doesn't have to be 28 days or whatever ours is.
Look at this. Look at this space nerd here. That's very clever of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, grappling does look like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun.
So how do the frogs get around, or this whatever they are? Like they can swim, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Climb walls?
Probably climbing, because Maddie just kind of jumps down into bottomless caverns.
Mm-hmm.
They hippity hop.
Yeah.
These colors are nice.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, despite being darker, it's more colorful. It pops more.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So do I. Really nice aesthetic.
That looks like crying. Did you see that?
Yeah. I don't think any of the runes or symbols, glyphs, really mean anything. Like, often collectibles will be hidden nearby, but that they don't all signify collectibles, so I think they're just decoration. And lighting. They do provide that as well.
Eat those mushrooms.
They're bioluminescent.
What could go wrong?
Maddie?
Hi, I'm glad you came. Sorry about back there. I just get so frustrated. They cling so desperately to what they know, won't ever do anything new. It feels better when Fred is around, but...
I told Madeline I didn't mind, and I asked her what she was doing with the book.
Oh, this? These writings? It's like a secret language. They are done by people who left the village long ago. They're called the Strays, but no one wants to talk about them. I started translating their language with help from a stray book that Fred found. This one says, "Don't move when the eye is open," I think. I wonder what it means. Whatever. We should get going. Why don't you take me on your back? It'll be faster if you carry me. I used to piggyback on Fred all the time. Turn around and I'll hop up. You're not going to drop me, right? Okay, let's go.
Madeline climbed up on my back, and with the suit on, I could barely feel the extra weight.
Yeah, so Maddie's going to be our traveling companion.
Sweet.
Chief.
The winding, narrow tunnels felt like
She is
closing in on me.
she is blue.
They were oddly
Yeah.
long and twisting, almost like
She's a girl.
someone,
Go on.
something.
Well, I mean,
Pluck them out.
the parallels between her and
Madeline
Cortana.
back. I had to be careful
Very fair.
not to bump her head on the ceiling.
You don't actually have to be careful not to bump her head on the ceiling.
I imagine that.
But yeah, so if you look in the book she's carrying, there's like a brief window where you can actually take a look. It does have the translations for every letter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize the first time I played, so I actually like tried to work them out myself
Nerd.
by like process
As I
of
would have
elimination.
expected.
Yeah,
How'd that go for you?
it took a while.
Farewell, old life. Let us start anew. The Strays were ordinary people living in the village long ago. They disagreed with the old traditions and left to form their own village, or they were thrown out for misbehaving. The stories differ a bit.
And yeah,
I like that you found a spelling mistake in the original one, because, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was just the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
They spell the HTE, so they just got letters mixed up.
Uh-huh. That's what I was looking at, because I was trying to match the T's.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said it wasn't like letter for letter. But...
Oh, I see. Yeah, so
Seemingly bottomless pits loomed below us.
if you start working out what you think words should be, you can sort of fill in the blanks on letters.
What faint light existed down there
But
was getting fainter.
I'm just going to translate them all for this LP.
I'm glad that I wasn't alone.
Sometimes you have to make blind jumps, leaps of faith.
You know, these caves don't look like a natural formation.
Nice.
Beware. Of what?
In gigantic letters as well.
Was that the game changing it to the English?
No, that's me.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
really?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought that was in-game.
Nope, the game doesn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why it hasn't happened before. Before we got a look at Maddie's book to translate. And this was just me having fun.
Yeah. You know, I'm getting... I hate to really drill this, like, but the Halo vibes, like, before you meet the Flood, like, just
Yeah.
the eeriness of it.
A little bit of a spooky vibe in the chasms.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to help.
What was that? I had never heard a creature sounding as terrifying, and I imagined it wouldn't be happy about visitors.
How you feeling now, Swordfish?
I mean, I think the Flood is there somewhere.
Space zombies.
I mean, how could it not be at this point?
something about his eye. I already forgot. I'd be in bad shape if I was playing this. When the eye is open. Yeah.
This here is a really well hidden. I don't want to use the word secret because there's a marker on the wall that points to it, but some of these jumps are actually pretty tough to keep your momentum high enough.
Ugh.
You really missed Fred, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. I used to go to my uncle's house every single day after school to check if he was home. I loved it when he was. I got to help him with his inventions, and he told me stories of his adventures.
Like you and me, Dad.
Oh, yes. My mother didn't like it, though. She didn't want me to be there at all. Called it too dangerous. I didn't understand why then. It made me upset.
But Fred and Grandma were brother and sister. Why did they fight?
They weren't fighting, really. They were just different from each other. I longed for the time when I would be old enough to follow along on one of Uncle Fred's expeditions. But my mother never let me go willingly. Fred assured her that it would be all right, but she never seemed to stop worrying.
And now we know why.
Because you might get trapped in alternate dimensions.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fair thing to worry about, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, judging by, like, his notes in the first episode in his lab, he had no clue where this stuff was going.
Yeah, he did have a lot of question marks on his blueprints. That's usually a bad sign.
And then this kid comes along and is just like, oh yeah, I'm going through there. Let's go.
I mean, that is what boys do.
Yeah. And now he has to marry a frog girl and spend the rest of his life here, I think.
I mean, yeah. That seems like a reasonable...
There's worse fates, I suppose.
Better than dying alone, I guess.
Jeez.
See that glowing plant over there? I bet something will happen if you use your grapple on it. Told you so.
So yeah, that's kind of a nice touch, the reactive plants.
I'm like squinting.
Creating some light.
Yeah.
Yeah, this section, you really need them. They actually do a really good job of making the darkness actually dark enough that the extra light is almost necessary.
It is really dark down there. You're not scared, are you? 'Cause I'm not.
That voice actor just kills it.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
The slight Swedish accent is kind of fun, too.
Yeah. You're still falling on the rock.
Yeah, every once in a while you get stuck in weird situations like that. So yeah, this next section here, we have to follow these narrow paths that you basically cannot see.
So you gotta make sure you don't jump and accidentally try and hook something and hit a plant.
Yeah.
Otherwise you just light up your death.
And the other way around, too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to hit a plant and you accidentally grapple towards it, it'll throw you off the pathway.
That's true.
Although, we were talking about speedruns in the first video, this area would be very cool to see in a speedrun.
Yeah, just memorizing it so you just run it.
Grappling on stuff you can't see to just skip this whole part.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Fred has been with my people since the first villager was born. He helped us build the village, taught us how to speak, and helps us with everything. He taught me how to read and write as well. That's how I could learn to read the writing on the walls.
Okay,
Well,
why
isn't Fred
did you
just a good guy?
Yeah, but why did you change the language? That's just... Maybe it's easier for them to write or makes them feel special, but, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's their language, but I guess if their only teacher has always been Fred, you'd think they'd just use whatever language he used, which is probably English here.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Whoa, dude. I think I figured out what that writing was going on about. Maybe we shouldn't charge right out in front of that thing. Remember what it said. Don't move when the eye is open.
So, yeah.
Ooh.
This is like the closest thing the game has to a boss fight, and I honestly don't know how else to refer to it. But there is no combat.
It's the eyeball puzzle.
Yeah, you don't move while the eye is open is literally all there is to it.
What if you do move?
So if you move while he's looking, he does sort of this big yell and blows you off the platforms until you die.
You must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
It's got, like it just looks very like Zelda bad guy.
Yes. The giant eye helps with that, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
I think
liked
one
it,
of
it's
them
cool.
was a giant eye in Ocarina of Time.
Probably. Grapple it right in the eyeball.
Yeah,
You
I want
can't.
to see that.
Not grappleable.
Swing right into his mouth.
But yeah, it's a cool little section. I do like that the game switches things up, like all the time. So there's a section where you have to light up the plants in order to see. Now there's a section where you have to sort of pay attention to the giant worm thing.
I wonder if you could speedrun this and just blow through it.
So in doing my recordings, trying to get various screenshots and whatnot, you can do it in about 3 cycles if you're very quick.
Cool.
Yes, we did it! You're awesome. I knew you had it in you.
That was close. We had made it through, and I felt like nothing could stand in our way of finding Fred.
Nothing.
We're getting there. About halfway through. Yeah,
Rad.
very cool. Thanks everyone for watching. See you later.